My parents threw me out at 14 to give my room to my pregnant sister, and now they're begging for help, but I gave them the response they earned. I'm 24, male, but this began a decade ago. My sister, Lily, 17, female then, now 27, was always the family's darling. Our parents, Dad, 45, male, and Mom, 43, female, practically idolized her. Things escalated when Lily revealed she was pregnant by her deadbeat boyfriend, Ethan, 19, male. You'd expect them to be furious, right? Wrong. Mom embraced her, sobbing about becoming a young grandma and how fortunate we were. Dad just stared at his food, silent. A typical dad move. He never challenges Mom. Ever. I sat at the dinner table, jaw dropped, thinking, really? If I'd gotten a girl pregnant at 14, they'd have sent me to boot camp. But Lily? She gets hugs and praise. That sums up my childhood. Lily was the golden child. When I got a C in science, I lost my console. For a month. When Lily flunked 2 courses, Mom claimed she was emotionally overwhelmed and bought her a new tablet to lift her spirits. The double standards were wild. I could fill a book with times she got special treatment, but I'll skip the details. And Ethan? Total loser. Fired from 4 jobs in a year. Last Christmas, he brought Lily a gift with the store tag still on. We all ignored it. But come on, man. He'd show up unannounced, raid our kitchen, and act like we owed him. He's got this dumb arm tattoo that says no limits, ironic given his track record. His rusty sedan stunk up our street with oil fumes. The first time Ethan came for dinner, 3 months before the pregnancy news, he bragged about skipping college because real hustlers don't need degrees. He was working at a gas station, crashing at his mom's place. My parents nodded like he was a sage. Dad shot me a glance like, is this guy serious? But said nothing. I tried warning them about Ethan once. I overheard him in our yard, talking on his phone about getting kicked out of his ex's place for borrowing her dad's debit card. When I told Mom, she said, everyone deserves a fresh start, sweetie. Ethan's hit hard times. Hard times that lasted his whole life, apparently. Growing up as the less favored kid makes you question yourself. For years, I wondered if I was the issue. Maybe if I was more like Lily, charming, popular, attractive, they'd treat me equally. I tried so hard to win their notice. I got solid grades, kept my space tidy, joined activities to impress them. Nothing stuck. Lily could wreck the place, and they'd blame a storm. Once, at 12, when Lily was 15, we had clashing events, my tech fair and her dance recital. Guess where they went? Right. They watched Lily do one move in a group routine while I stood alone by my robotics project, which took weeks to build. My teacher kept asking about my parents. I lied, saying they were delayed. They didn't even stop by later. I got second place, by the way. They never knew or cared. A week after the pregnancy bombshell, Mom called a family meeting, code, for bad news for me. Lily strolled in 20 minutes late, complaining her back ached from carrying life. Mom rushed to grab her a special cushion while I sighed. We sat in the living room, Mom and Dad on the main sofa, Lily sprawled on the armchair, me stuck on a stiff kitchen chair. Even seating screamed my place in the family pecking order. Then they hit me with it. With the baby coming, they needed to rearrange. I was being sent to my grandparents in Texas so Lily could turn my room into a nursery. It's temporary, Mom said, avoiding my eyes. Lily needs us now. I looked at Dad, hoping he'd speak up. He muttered, it'll be nice to bond. With your grandparents, they've got that big yard. Like a yard made up for banishment. Lily had the gall to say, be thankful. You won't deal with crying babies or diaper stench. She laughed, adding, plus your room's perfect. It gets great light for the baby. I sat, stunned. They planned my future like I wasn't there, like I was a chair they could move. I waited for a just joking or another option, but nothing came. When do I leave? I asked, voice breaking. Mom checked her phone calendar. Your grandparents said any time, but maybe after school ends, 6 weeks to say bye to friends. 6 weeks, like that was plenty to uproot my life. I'd lived in our town forever. My friends, school, teachers, the arcade I hit on weekends, the skate park where I was getting okay at tricks. Everything was here. Do I get a say? I asked, knowing the answer. Sweetie, Mom said with fake concern. Families make tough calls. This is best for all. All but me, I mumbled. Don't be so extra, Lily scoffed. It's not like you're headed to jail. Texas has ranches and stuff. The moment I knew I was disposable hit when Mom discussed repainting my room, dark green, which I'd begged to pick last year, to a bright orange for the baby. She planned where my posters would go in the cribs spot, all while I sat there. What about school friends, track tryouts? I asked, fighting tears. You'll find new friends, Mom waved off. Texas schools might be better. I glanced at Lily for any guilt. She was scrolling her phone, ignoring the talk flipping my life. When she looked up, she said, "Can we finish? I'm meeting Ethan for food." That night, I locked my door and cried. First time in years, no one noticed. The next weeks were brutal. Lily moved baby gear into my room before I packed. She and Mom shopped for baby outfits while I was told to budget when I needed new shoes for Texas. One day, I got home to find my bookshelf cleared, my books stuffed in hallway boxes. "We need it for baby stuff," Mom said. "You're not taking those to Texas, right? They'll go in the garage." Those books were my haven, bought with saved cash from yard sales, some with my notes in them. Now they were tossed aside, like me. Ethan hung around more, acting like he owned the place. Once, I caught him in my favorite Lakers jacket. When I called him out, he shrugged. "Relax, kid, you won't need it in Texas." I wanted to deck him. Mom saw and said nothing. Actually, she told me to stop causing trouble. Ethan smirked. I never got that jacket back. Bet he pawned it. Things worsened. Mom and Lily planned the nursery in front of me like I was invisible, my desk becoming a diaper station, my bed swapped for a crib, erasing me. I told friends, but they didn't get it. Most thought Texas sounded dope. "You'll be by cowboys," or "Bet you'll see a rattlesnake." Only my best friend Jake got how messed up it was. "That's garbage, man," he said. "They can't ditch you 'cause your sister's pregnant. That's not on you." His words helped, but changed nothing. I was still leaving, and no one with power cared. I tried talking to Dad alone in the shed, where he fixed bikes. "Dad, this ain't right. Why me? Why not Lily and Ethan finding their own place?" He sighed, looking worn. "Families sacrifice, sometimes. Your mom thinks this is best." "What do you think?" I pressed. He shook his head. "My opinion doesn't count much here, son." His defeated look showed he'd stopped fighting Mom ages ago, maybe before I existed. It was like seeing my future if I stayed in that toxic mess, and it freaked me out. I made a last effort, telling my school counselor. She seemed worried and called my parents for a meeting, but Mom played perfect parent, saying it was a great chance to connect with my grandparents, a family sacrifice. The counselor bought it. Leaving her office, Mom gripped my arm, hard, and hissed, "Don't ever shame us again." The final blow was overhearing Lily on the phone with a friend, laughing. "It's ideal. The kid's getting sent off so the baby gets a full nursery. Mom's already down to help with night feeds so I can still chill." To her, I wasn't a brother whose life was upended, just the kid blocking her perfect plan. The day before I left, I visited my old fort in the woods behind our block. Dad and I built it when I was 7. A rare bonding moment. Just planks and nails, but my safe spot. I hadn't gone in ages, outgrowing it, but needed to see it once more. I found the ladder torn down. "Ethan was here" scrawled across it, the window smashed, beer cans and stubs inside. I sat for hours, staring at my ruined childhood haven, like everything else. My last night home, no one made it special. Mom helped Lily pick baby shower gifts online. Dad watched sports quietly. I got takeout with my own cash, eating alone in my near-empty room on the floor, my bed gone for the crib delivered that day. At 14, I moved to Texas to live with my grandparents. Grandma, 68, female, and Grandpa, 70, male. It wasn't bad. They treated me better than my parents ever did. But starting high school in a new state, knowing no one, was rough. I was the new kid with a Yankee accent, apparently. On my first day, a guy asked why I moved. When I said my pregnant sister took my room, he gaped. "That's jacked up, dude." It was the first time someone said it wasn't normal, and I nearly broke down in the lunchroom. The first month sucked. I kept to myself, ate lunch alone, went straight home. Grandma had snacks ready and asked real questions about my day, my classes, teachers, not just, "How's school?" It felt odd having an adult care. One day, I lost it doing homework, sobbing at the kitchen table. Grandma sat, rubbing my back, saying nothing till I calmed. Then she said, "What your parents did was wrong. You're allowed to be mad, but don't let it destroy what's good in you." Grandpa was great too. He had a shed where he made cabinets and taught me tools, saying I had a knack for precision. Dad never showed me that stuff. When I made a wooden tray with inlaid edges, Grandpa put it on their shelf, showing it off to visitors, bragging about my grandson's work. I acted shy but loved it. Someone was proud of me. I rarely heard from home. Mom called monthly for stilted chats, then spent 20 minutes showing me pics of Lily's daughter, Ava, via video call. Dad joined for a minute to say, "Be good for your grandparents," then hung up. Lily only texted if she needed something. 3 months in, she called. My heart jumped, thinking she missed me. Nope. She wanted me to push Grandma and Grandpa for a bigger baby shower check. I hung up. For my 15th birthday, my parents sent a late card with a $25 App Store code and a generic note. "No, we miss you." Grandma and Grandpa threw a party, baked a cake, and got me a solid PC for school. The difference was stark. I adjusted slowly. I joined the tech club, meeting cool kids who didn't care I was new. One, Lucas, lived nearby, and we hung out. His parents' split gave him insight into family chaos, so he got me. I found I was good with tech. My PC became my world. I taught myself coding, hardware fixes, some design. Grandpa brought home junk electronics from flea markets for me to mess with. "Fix it or it's already busted, no loss," he'd wink. I worked hard, got A's, joined tech club, and at 16 got a job at Tech Trend. Grandpa taught me saving and investing. I stashed every penny, planning to never rely on my parents again, to never be disposable. Tech Trend was huge. I earned good cash and learned tons about gadgets and customer service. My boss, Dave, mentored me, giving me tough repair jobs. Kids got a nose for issues, he'd tell coworkers. I felt valued for my skills, a first. By junior year, I had solid friends, ran cross-country, and dated a girl, Sophie, who later moved to Oregon for college. We're still pals. Life normalized. Sometimes I'd go weeks without thinking of my parents or Lily. The hurt lingered, but dulled from a knife to a bruise. I visited home once, junior year for Thanksgiving, at Grandma's insistence. My room was gone. Lavender walls, crib, no trace of me. Lily lived there with Ava, a toddler. Ethan was between gigs, playing games all day. They acted like my exile was normal. Mom said, "We should show you the new plaza," like I'd been at summer camp. Dad apologized alone one night, saying he should have done better, but it was too late. I couldn't wait to leave. My grandparents' place was home now. At 18, when I graduated, my parents came to Texas. It was tense. They acted like the past 4 years vanished. Mom showed neighbors Ava pics, now 4. Praising Lily as a brave young mom despite her struggles, like Ethan bailing when Ava was 6 months, returning, then leaving again. Or Lily losing 3 retail jobs for skipping shifts, hungover, Dad hinted. To Mom, Lily was a saint for basic parenting. At the graduation dinner, I said I wasn't returning home. I'd stay in Texas, get my own place, start a tech repair business. Mom looked stunned. Dad nodded like he expected it. "You don't want to come back?" Mom asked, baffled. "Your room's there." It was Ava's room, seen in video calls. "No," I said. "My home's here." Her hurt face almost made me laugh. What did she think? I'd rush back to where I was discarded? Grandpa slipped me a $5,000 check that night. "Start-up cash," he whispered. "Don't tell Grandma. She thinks it's just rent help." He winked, saying, "I believe in you, kid. I realized family isn't blood. It's those who make space for you, see your worth." From 18 to 24, I built my tech repair business into a solid IT consulting firm. I own a condo, a new truck, and have savings. Not wealthy, but secure. Those early years were brutal. Living in a cramped studio above a taco shop, working crazy hours, repairs by day, online cert courses at night, pitching businesses on weekends. Noodles were my diet. Sleep was rare. I started fixing personal PCs, viruses, upgrades, data recovery, charging less than big shops, gaining clients via referrals. I'd bike to house calls with my tools. My break came saving a law firm's dead server in a day for a fraction of a big firm's quote. The owner hired me on a retainer for their IT. That was my first contract. Business grew. One client led to another. At 20, I hired my first staff, a tech school guy good with servers. By 22, I had a small office and 3 employees. Now I've got 5, including a manager who handles paperwork I loathe. Building my business wasn't just about cash, it was control. No one could exile me or take my space. I made my own rules, built something untouchable. Meanwhile, Lily, 27, still lived at home with Ava, 10. She quit community college after 1 term, saying it was too hard with a kid. Ethan drifted in and out, mostly mooching cash and vanishing. I got updates via holiday cards or rare dad calls. Ethan got another girl pregnant when Ava was 3, sparking drama. He did a stint in jail for driving with a revoked license and an illegal knife. Classy. Lily cycled through jobs: cashier, barista, clerk, quitting or getting fired fast. She blamed mean bosses or long shifts, but Dad's hints suggested she just didn't try. Why would she? My parents bailed her out. For Ava's 7th birthday, I sent a tablet loaded with learning apps and stories. Pricey, but I wanted her to have something special. Days later, Lily texted a pic of Ava with it, saying, "She says TAX for the Kindle." It wasn't a Kindle, but whatever. No real thanks from Lily, no nod to my effort, just the minimum. It stung, not for lack of gratitude, but because it showed nothing changed. Lily was still selfish. My parents still enabled her. My parents, now 53, female, and 55, male, basically raised Ava while Lily worked part-time at a hair salon and partied. Mom called her a vibrant soul, needing time to discover herself. Dad sounded exhausted in our few talks. Last time he said he delayed retirement to support Lily and Ava. He was 55, with knee issues and hypertension, but kept working. I stayed low contact. Holiday cards, birthday texts. I sent Ava gifts yearly, books, STEM kits. I'd never met her, only seen her on screens, which felt odd. Grandma and Grandpa were my true anchors. They never made me feel like a burden. Grandpa died 2 years ago. Heart attack, peaceful in sleep. It crushed me, more than anything tied to my parents or Lily. I call Grandma twice weekly. Visit for Sunday meals when I can. Grandpa's funeral was brutal. My parents came, but Lily didn't, claiming she couldn't get a sitter for Ava. Nonsense, since my parents could have watched her. She just didn't care. Grandpa, who saved me when my family ditched me, wasn't worth her drive. Mom made the funeral about her, sobbing loudly, telling everyone what a great dad he was, though she rarely called him. Dad seemed truly sad and helped with logistics, which I appreciated. I overheard Mom tell Grandma's friend they were so worried about me and offered me a stay with them. A flat-out lie. Typical mom, always acting for a crowd. On my 23rd birthday, Lily texted, "Happy B-Day, bro." No caps, no name. I hadn't heard from her in a year. An hour later, she asked for a $900 loan for car fixes. I ignored it. She sent 3 more texts, each more manipulative. The last accusing me of ditching the family and not caring about Ava's safety since Lily needed the car for school runs. I replied, "Ask Ethan or Mom and Dad. They're your crew." She didn't text again. That's Lily, only remembering me when she needs cash. 10 years of silence, and I'm supposed to pay up because family? Bold. I built a life I'm proud of. My business thrives. I've got tight friends, date casually, and I'm happy. Really happy, unlike my childhood. Sometimes I wonder about a world where my parents made Lily and Ethan figure it out, where I stayed. Would I be me? Would I have this life? Getting pushed out young made me tougher, driven. It's not a blessing I'd wish on anyone, but I've accepted it. Then, Mom called on a Tuesday afternoon. I almost didn't pick up but did, sensing urgency. "Your sister had a car crash," she said, voice trembling. "She's okay, but broke her leg in 3 spots and her pelvis. She can't work for 6 to 8 months. I waited. And Ethan's gone for good. Said he couldn't cope and left for Arizona with some girl he met online. We're struggling with hospital bills and Ava's care. Your dad's hours got cut and my back pain's worse." She paused, then said it. "We hoped you'd visit, reconnect, meet Ava. Your dad misses you." Translation. They're star kids. Out of commission. Her deadbeats split, and they remembered their other kid might be useful. I stared at my phone long after the call. 10 years. It took a decade and a money crisis for them to reach out, not because they regretted anything, but because they needed me. Part of me wanted to ghost them, but I thought of Ava, a 10-year-old stuck in their mess, blameless. And honestly, a small part wanted them to see who I'd become without them. The kid they discarded, now someone they needed. I called Mom back saying I'd visit in a few weeks. I booked a motel, not their couch or my old room. Walking into their house was surreal. Walls were lined with Ava pics, her with Lily, my parents. Only 2 of me. My graduation and an old school shot from 12. My room was a kid's wonderland, purple walls, fairy bedding. Lily lounged on the sofa, leg casted, scrolling her phone. "You actually showed," she said, like I'd inconvenienced her. Mom fussed nervously. Dad hugged me tight, whispering, "I missed you." He looked old, worn. When Ava got home from school, everything shifted. She was smart, curious, free of Lily's attitude. Shy at first, she lit up learning I did tech, asking about apps and coding. After Ava's bedtime, they got to it. They were swamped. Hospital bills, Lily jobless, Ethan gone, behind on the house and Ava's private school. We know it's a lot, Mom said. But your business is doing great. Could you help? Lily perked up. Yeah, bro. Must be nice with all that cash and freedom. I eyed them, my entitled sister, never accountable. Mom, her enabler. Dad, passive but regretful. I'll help, I said. Mom cried relief. But conditions, I added. No blank checks. I'll pay Ava's bills in school directly, not to you or Ava. And it goes through Dad, not you two, I said, eyeing Mom, and Lily's eyes widened. What? Don't trust us? She snapped. No, I don't. Mom looked hurt. Dad nodded. Also, Lily starts career training when she's able. She huffed, leaving. Dad surprised me, saying it was reasonable. Dad followed me to my car. I should have fought for you, he said softly. It was easier to follow your mom and Lily. I've regretted it every day. I nodded, not ready to forgive but glad for his words. Look after Ava, I said. She deserves better than this mess. Driving to my motel, I realized I didn't hate them, just pitied them. Their favoritism created this chaos, and they were stuck in it. I was free, the forgotten son who built himself. Maybe I'd bond with Ava, even Dad someday. For now, their need for me after years of neglect was enough. To clarify, I'm 24, was 14 when sent to Texas. Lily was 27 then, now 33, with Ava, 10. I still cover Ava's costs via Dad. Lily's not working, though cleared medically, exploring online courses for months. Mom defends her. Good news, I'm close with Ava. We video chat weekly about stories and tech. She's bright, and I'm being the role model I needed. Some say cut them off, but Ava's innocent, and I don't want her hurt by her mom's errors. I haven't moved back, just visit for Ava and Dad. My life's in Texas,